Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, October 3rd, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I value connecting to my inner sense of center, or value your personal harmony, your personal balance, any and all of that. So we have interesting stuff coming in. We are building to a full moon on Monday. And so we're going to be in that approach this weekend. We're going to have the moon moving into Pisces later in the day today on Friday. And that's going to, I don't know, it feels like it's going to be a little cattywampus is the word that comes through. That's so weird. I don't even know the last time I heard or if I've ever used that word. It might get a little bit weird. It may get a little interesting. It may get a little karmic. And there's another reason for that. We have Venus engaging with the nodes this weekend. So we have Venus hanging out in the sign of Virgo. And this weekend, Venus in Virgo is going to connect with the South Node in Virgo. And this can definitely open up the doors to old relationships, old issues around your worth, value, old issues around money, old issues around your talents and gifts. But I'm really feeling specifically there may be some interesting relationship stuff. And when I say relationship stuff, it's not just this lifetime. It's definitely relationships through the ages. As the South Node in Virgo connects to North Node in Pisces. And as I've been saying, this really does connect us to all times, places, and stages and states and all of that. Now, it's interesting because Virgo does represent the reality that we exist in right now. And yet the universe just knows how to bring those energies from multiple lifetimes into the now to be dealt with, experienced, and worked through. So be really aware of that. Now, it may also be beyond the relationships with the people. It also might be issues around relating that is coming up, showing up for you. It's also interesting to me that we do have the sun in Libra, which just kind of enhances the whole relating energy, the whole relating experience. Be aware of that. Be aware of your patterns. Top of the cards that we have today is the consciousness card. This is the Ace of Swords. So it really is consciousness awareness of what is happening, what is unfolding. And it's an amazing thing that you have so much power in you to change things, to change how you relate, by how you relate to whatever you're relating to, and especially by changing the patterns, by recognizing where you follow patterns that may not serve you and shifting it up. So really interesting energies to me with that. I'm going to show you my other interesting thing. So it's very rare that this happens. I have a deck that has two of the slowing down cards, and they both came out in my pull today. So this to me is a call to slow down, ground in anything that you respond to. Respond slowly. Take some breaths. Check in with yourself. Move slowly, because that can help with this consciousness energy that we're working with. But again, have this awareness. I would say, again, the cattywampus word energy with the moon moving into Pisces. The moon, again, especially as we build to this full moon and we have this big, beautiful light in the sky, it loves to uncover stuff. And so between this South Node Venus energy and moon moving into Pisces, there's a lot of energies that can be uncovered. That being said, let's just look at Friday's energies in general, and then we'll just take a glance at Saturdays and Sundays. Our first connection on Friday is actually Mercury hanging out in the sign of Libra, opposing Chiron in Aries. So again, here's more relating stuff. And our consciousness is over here in the we, in the Libra energy, which is the we. And then we have Chiron, the wounding, in the me over here in Aries. And again, this is pointing out like your personal awareness of yourself engaging in any relating. This is beyond humans. This is our pets. This is the sky. This is the earth. This is the universe. This is whatever. This is the rocks. It's the energies. It's the world in general. So really checking in with like how things are going on those layers, on those levels can be helpful in this. This also might be a powerful time to have a conversation, but again, awareness of the self. And I do have the inner child. And I would say awareness of any inner child wounding that may be coming up, coming through, may be powerful and helpful. That's part of Aries energy. Although Aries is not the sign that represents the inner child, Aries is where we come in brand new as a spirit into our body, right? Aries energy is that beginning point. And so Aries can tune us into child things. It can also tune us into where we may have some, we're going to call them ego blips, that come up and show up. So we have that energy happening. We're also going to have Mercury connecting in conjunct, I think this is on Sunday, with Saturn, but they're still already a little engaging. And that Saturn in Pisces energy is really interesting because, again, there's a level of personal or self-responsibility in it. And it's just I think that taking responsibility for things is one of the biggest power moves any of us can do. It can be hard, especially where we have some victim layers, and we all have them somewhere. Like, I can't do this because of this, or this didn't work out because of this. We hold on to those things, and yet where you can say, okay, well, maybe there's a reason, and let me take that responsibility. How can I respond now in a way that's true to my soul, that's true to myself, that takes that power back? So, and again, more interesting layers. We have the moon finishing up in Aquarius, connecting to Mercury in Libra. Speaking of those slowing down, grounding in energies, thoughts, energies, all of the above, maybe flying around with that energy. So be aware of that and take time to ground. Have a notebook in case you gotta jot some things down and get some of the energies out. The moon is then going to go void, so it's going to get a little quiet, although the mind might still be really busy because the moon finishes up in Aquarius. Void moon, the moon moves into Pisces at 7:07 p.m. Pacific time, and its first connection is a square with Uranus, which again might be a little spicy. It might have a little energy to it. Uranus can trigger, it wants us to shift, but again, it can have Uranus is weird. It can have weird things come up. It can have the triggery things come up. It's going to be like late Friday night and early Saturday that we're going to actually have the nodes meet with Venus, but it's going to be something, we're going to feel this on Friday, or experience it on Friday. You may feel it, you may not. We're going to experience it Friday, we're going to experience it Saturday, we're going to experience it Sunday, and then after that point, Venus moves a little further from the orb. It's not to say that it's still not engaging, but that's going to bring in more of the full moon energies at that point. I do want to mention, I was wrong about the day. Mercury and Saturn, they're going to connect Saturday evening that we have that. So again, that personal responsibility. And even in these layers of karmic relationships, again, taking that responsibility for your part, whether it's 1%, whether it's even less than 1% of what you did, you taking your responsibility for that brings your power back. So just be aware of that. The moon will move into Aries late Sunday night, but not before the moon in Pisces brings on some shenanigans again with some of this nodal energy. So be aware of that. And like I said, some of this energy is bringing some intensity as we build to a full moon in Aries. It's going to be Monday evening that we're going to have that. So be aware that that reactive state is also activated. Again, probably why we got two of these here. We've also got some guidance, and we've got silence. And the silence is the star card, so it's like there's success here. But I feel like the silence, guidance, slowing down is like, take a beat before you react. Breathe, tap into your consciousness, check your personal self-responsibility. I'm not telling you to take responsibility for all of it, just your own parts. That's going to be a game changer. Now the card, we're back to Journey of Love today. It is so perfect. I pulled Fire and Ice. And it's saying you're learning to hold the tensions of opposites, of those things that don't immediately seem to go together within your being, without collapsing into confusion, judgment, or denial. There's passion, serenity, creation and destruction, new life and death emerging within you and within relationships. Sometimes this is hard to handle. We want to make things simpler, to just let go of the conflict, complexity, and choose one or the other. You are a grand enough soul to be able to withstand the rigors of depth. To go deep, to live fully, to let the divine have its way through you requires a willingness to stand at the center of the pairs of opposites and eventually know that they are connected to each other, that they exist only in relationship to each other, to breathe and simply let be. If you are consciously feeling conflict in your life, internally or externally, then you are being initiated through Fire and Ice. Stay present, be patient, and wait. There is nothing to fix here, just awareness to step into as divine creation continues to unfold through you. As you master this initiation, you will find a sweet nectar of bliss dripping within. This oracle brings you guidance that the conflict you feel within or externally is a sign of your spiritual growth. Soon you will grow larger than the conflict, but for now, you do not need to engage in it. Simply to be present to it, allow it to work its way through you until you're strong enough to have outgrown the conflict, giving rise to a clear direction. It may seem impossible, beloved, but it is not. You are a vast being. Give yourself a chance to realize this and have patience. All is becoming, including you, all is becoming, including you, according to the perfection of divine design. This oracle brings specific guidance on any relationship matter requiring a decision. Until you have simple clarity in your heart, beyond the pushing away and pulling closer, there is a time to wait, for there is more yet to be revealed. Only when your heart speaks clearly, then you will do well to act as feels truthful to you. So again, there's that call to pause happening right now in these energies, because there's a lot unfolding. So just keep your awareness of that as we move through this weekend. Did you know I do relationship readings, by the way? That can be very eye-opening and supportive to a relationship, because it's one of the reasons I love astrology is it can help us stop taking things personally and be like, oh, this person has this. It's not an excuse for behavior, but it's an understanding of the self or understanding of the other that can be really helpful. So that's how I got into astrology. My first big breakup that happened in my life, my first love, I was like, I have to understand why, like, with so much love, this didn't work. And astrology. And I was like, oh, I see it. So anyway, thought I'd leave that there. It's Libra season. It's a good time to say that. Besides all this, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust the process. Namaste.